Hi, Steve Waite here with an extras with our Business Connect webcast, and I've got our guest Michelle Dawson from DWF Law. There was a few things we didn't cover that we wanted to emphasise about where do I go to get help? What can I do at a very simple level to get some advice before something becomes complicated or finding out a little bit more about it? So one of the things we spoke about was just a phone call to a firm such as yours, and just asking some simple questions can be very cost effective and avoid some high costs later.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's important though when you're reaching out to a lawyer to make sure that you're reaching out to someone who actually knows what it is that they're doing. There are many solicitors who practice in multidisciplines and across many. Unfortunately, in this area of employment law, it really is a specialised field, and unless you're talking to someone who lives and breathes this stuff day in, day out and essentially does nothing else but, they're often not necessarily the right source of information. But you know, speaking to someone who is a genuine employment law expert and who focuses on that is a really, it can be a really useful thing to do. But if that's not in your budget or that's not in your level of comfort as a business, there are some really great resources out there online. The Fair Work Ombudsman is a wealth of information around all of this stuff, and that's fwo.gov.au. They have some really great resources. They've also got a live chat facility and a helpline that can be contacted with specific questions, and they're also really good giving advice in relation to awards, specific awards and those types of things, and they are the regulator. Generally they are a good source of information because they will give you a reference number for your contact, and you can write that down, and if you implement the advice that they've given or the guidance that they've provided you with, and it turns out for whatever reason that it's not right, you've got that reference number to rely on as perhaps having you know, sought to do the right thing in the first place. So that's a really good thing. There, you know, depending upon what type of issue you have, obviously Safe Work Australia is a good source of information, or you know, WorkSafe if you're not in New South Wales perhaps, but essentially, you know, those government specific websites relevant to work issues are really great sources of information to have. There's obviously great detail around social distancing, etc., on the broader government websites as well.
But I guess the key message for everyone is that a situation like this can, if not managed well, become quite costly, quite stressful. So if you do find that something is worrying you and that it is a problem, far better to get some professional advice at the beginning and to give you some clarity and some assurance about what you're about to do is following you know, sound practice and you know, learnt from what's happened before, I guess, at a simple level. All right, anything else you'd like to add?
No, only that I probably unfairly left out industry associations. You know, those employer associations, you know, some of the larger ones, but also the small, more specific industry orientated are great resources, and they're really knowledgeable around the awards in the particular areas that they deal with.
To a legal firm that practices in that area.
Correct. That's right. So don't overlook those as a resource either.
Okay. All right. Thanks again, Michelle. We'll just close out there once again, and we'll leave it there. Thanks very much.